am prepping for my pro debut. Last month, my husband and I went to Vegas to celebrate our 20th anniversary, and we renew our vows. In this video, I am going to show you how I navigated being in prep, staying in track, and still enjoying my time with my husband. I'm going to show you how I did it. So one of the things that I want to mention is I wanted to be prepared as much as I could because I didn't want to be stressing out about food and just trying to find whatever fit my meal plan, because I really wanted to enjoy my time with him. I really wanted to be present. I didn't want to have additional stress. I just wanted to be there and enjoy my time, create memories, and truly be present without thinking about food. I'm pretty sure if you have been on prep, you relate to this. You go to a restaurant, you order food in a specific way, let's say no oil, no cheese, no dressing, and stuff like that. And because the cook is so used to doing it in a certain way, when you receive your plate, guess what? It's not the way you order it. And this creates so much stress. Then you have to talk to the waiter. The cook needs to remake your food. Meanwhile, my husband's plate is getting cold, and it's just a very frustrating moment. I didn't want to go through that. That's why I brought everything with me. One of the challenges I had in this particular trip is the hotel that we were gonna stay at didn't have a microwave, didn't have a fridge, didn't have a coffee maker. We were gonna stay at the Palacio. We ended up being at the Hilton for whatever reasons, but it still didn't have it. So I really needed to be creative and figure out how I'm gonna do everything, and I did it. And on a side note, I also dropped weight. If you are a competitor, you already know the importance of carrying with you a scale. Here's mine. For breakfast, I did not want to overcomplicate anything, actually for any of the meals. So my first meal of the day, it was oats, protein powder, chia seeds, which I ran out, stevia drops. I like to add a little bit of PB powder. I also like to add some instant coffee to it. I just love the flavor of coffee. I feel like I really enjoy it more with my food than the coffee alone. And remember, because I didn't have a microwave, I brought with me this electric kettle. I will link it down below. I just plug it, I boil the water, and then I put it in a container with my oats. I do not want to mix anything here because then it makes it really difficult to clean. So I brought a different container with me. So there you have it. For breakfast, I have my carbs, I have my fats, and for the milk, because I also like to add some milk to it, I added some instant dry milk. This one, I got it, as you can see, at Walmart. This made it super creamy, and since it's powder, I didn't have to worry about going bad. Inventando nuevas recetas y buscando nuevos artículos que... Estoy hablando en español. For lunch and dinner, I was eating the same thing, which I didn't mind because this just made it a lot easier and I didn't have to overcomplicate anything. So basically what I was having for lunch and dinner was this little tuna packets. Super handy, super practical. It doesn't go bad. It's super small. I can just fit it in my purse if we wanted to go out and eat. And I just find this very, very useful. I used this on my trip to Mexico last year, and this saved my life. Whenever I got hungry at the airport or anywhere, I just grabbed one of these, started eating with a fork, just open it, season it, and there you have it, a meal right there at the airport. Now, if you don't like the flavor of fish and you find it a little bit disgusting, what I do is I put a little bit of tahini, which has some lime flavor to it, and it just makes it a lot more bearable if you don't like it. But I mean, I don't mind, I enjoy it. And so my meal was the tuna packet. I found this at Walmart. This is corn, and you don't have to put it in the fridge. It's cooked already. So basically, you just mix it, and there you have it. Same thing with this right here. Green beans. Same concept. You don't have to put it in the fridge. You just pop it, put it in your plate, There you go. And because I also wanted to enjoy it, I added some seasoning, which doesn't have any salt, not because I am removing the salt, because it is important to have salt in your diet. It is important to have sodium. However, it is also crucial that you track your salt. Therefore, what I do to track my salt intake, I use this scale right here for grams. And in the morning, I measure whatever grams I'm going to use for the day, and I put it in here. And that way I can just keep adding it to my food along the day. I also like to add a little bit of red wine vinegar. This one doesn't have any calories, and it's also very beneficial for your health. Sometimes I also like to add a little bit of roasted garlic Alfredo sauce. This one, you need to be careful with this one. If you haven't opened it, you don't have to put it in the fridge, but once you open it, it has to be refrigerated, so it doesn't last long. I mean, I still brought it with me to use it the first day, but then after that I had to discard it. There you have it, lunch and dinner. Tuna, corn, green beans, seasoning, vinegar, and your Alfredo sauce. Optional. I really like this Alfredo sauce because look at this. It has, for 60 grams, only has 3.5 grams of fats, only 3 grams of carbs, and 1 gram of protein. And it tastes really good. Now for fruit and extra carbs, which I didn't really get to use much, my carbs were only 75 grams. So I think I only had like one of these a day, and same packets. Walmart, you don't have to refrigerate it. This one is pineapple, and this one is peach. One of these are like about 7 grams of carbs, which is not high at all. You can easily fit into your macros even if it's at a low point. Now for fats, Brazilian nuts, and it's really good for your thyroid. And whenever we go to a restaurant, I also like to bring with me some of the Alfredo sauce that I already mentioned. I like to pour it on my salads, super tasty. And I also bring my seasoning, but also I bring this barbecue sauce. I really like this brand. It has really clean ingredients. For 31 grams of carbs, it has 0 grams of fats. It has 4 grams of carbs and 0 of protein. So this is a really good sauce to bring with you whenever you go out and eat. So that way you don't have to use those dressings that are full in fats and just consumes the fats for the entire day. Because I do not want to bring the whole bottle to the restaurant, what I do is I also put it in these little containers, which are very practical. I just put them in here and I bring them out on the table to the restaurant. Sometimes I feel a little weird bringing my own stuff, but I mean, we're bodybuilders. We're different than the rest of the population, so what? I also like to bring my red wine in these little containers because I like my salads nice and wet. I like my salads with a lot of flavor. I do not like dry lettuce, so I make it as enjoyable as possible. You do not get extra points for making things any more difficult than they need to be. Find the things that you enjoy eating and that you can implement in your plan. I also want to show you guys how I prepare the water for my workouts. So this is what I put. I like to add beetroot powder to it because, as we know, it can reduce the inflammation in the body. And this can be really useful to manage pain, helps with recovery and muscle soreness. It can also help you with joint inflammation. And so more oxygen is delivered into your muscles, which then it can enhance your athletic performance. Also boosts your energy, which obviously we need more energy when we're in prep. It also has some antioxidant properties. It supports your immune system, regulate your hormones, and it can also help with your cardiovascular health. On top of that, I also like to add some of apple cider vinegar. I really haven't found any benefits to it. I just like the flavor because I also add some electrolytes to it. This particular brand has 400 grams of electrolytes, which are really important to prevent some cramping in the muscles. And of course, I also like to add a little bit of stevia because a little bit more sweetness can hurt. I also brought some rice cakes, which I didn't really get to use. Like I said, my carbs were very low, only 75 grams, and I didn't get to use them, but I still want to bring them just in case. A lot of competitors get really hooked on gum. And so because I'm really trying to avoid harsh chemicals and ingredients, I found this Simply Gum. I really like this brand. It has really clean ingredients. Yes, it does have some carbs, so you still need to be very mindful about how many you chew a day, but I think it's just better than, you know, the other commercial ones that we see all the time. This one is mint flavor. The flavor goes away almost instantly, doesn't last. However, I like it because it stays very soft and I can keep chewing it for a long time, whereas the other brands, they have more flavor, but they get hard really quickly, and I feel like I need to keep switching them to keep getting that softness. This one, although it doesn't have that much flavor, stays soft for a long time. So really think about it. I didn't get to use this particular time, but I like to bring my WOLFPACK lunch pail. This one is, I feel like it's the perfect size to bring 2 or 3 containers, maybe 2 containers and a couple of drinks. I also bought these in Amazon. I really like them because they're really thin. I think that the one that comes with the WOLFPACK lunch pail, it's a little bulky and it takes up too much space. I really like these ones because they're really thin. It's just very convenient. It's very small and it's just the perfect size. I really enjoy it. And a little hack for the Starbucks lovers like myself, or just coffee lovers in general. So a lot of the times when you ask for the foam on the side, they do not want to do that for you, because I guess this is their policies. They do not want to put any ingredients on the side if it's foam especially. And because I want it on the side so I can track it more accurately. However, they do it only if you request like vanilla sweet cream or half and half on the side if it's not foam. But if you want it foamy, you can bring your frother with you and they won't extra charge you if you just say that you want a splash of whatever ingredient that is. Right here we went to have lunch by the pool, and I brought my tuna with me and also my green beans. This time I couldn't afford any corn or any fruit. To do a toast, I brought some sparkling water, and I also brought some strawberry watermelon flavor drops. It just looked like champagne, so I really didn't feel like we were missing on anything. And because I also wanted a little bit of dessert, I brought 4 Quest protein cookies. That way I can easily track them. And I stack them one on top of each other. And then at the top, I put a cake topper. And that was our Vow Renewal cake. This video I recorded for my Instagram. And I was showing how I finished my meal and I was still very hungry. I am pretty sure many of you relate to this situation while in prep. Thank you so much for watching the entire video. I really appreciate you guys. I hope this video was really helpful for you if you're in prep and if you have an important event like a vow renewal. Please let me know in the description below if you have any other tips that I didn't mention. Maybe in the future, since I'm gonna be traveling to Mexico to do my pro debut, I can implement those tips. So we're all here to help each other. So please comment down below. And if you like it, please like this video if you did like it. You can always subscribe if you want to keep watching more content like this. Talk to you soon. Bye.